Day 16, Channeling from Source. Welcome to this moment, this now moment. Welcome to this space. Really fill up that space and sense the spaciousness of your whole being in its vastness, for you are more than the body. Expand beyond that body to the realms of the invisible, beyond the visible. Merge with the invisible, and you'll realize that there is no merging that happens, for in reality, that's who you are. You are just bringing to your awareness a new sense, a new sensory perception, which doesn't belong to your body, small b, but belongs to your body, capital B, the one which contains the whole of who you are. As you chose the veil of forgetfulness, the veil of separation, in order to be the experience of an individualized expression of self. When you reconnect to the field, source, God, whatever name you want to give it, the higher power, higher self, you feel a sense of home, sweet home, a sense of being back in a state that is familiar, a longing that is suddenly fulfilled, a sense of peace, a sense of calmness, a sense of wholeness. And this is what most people are after. Within your world, you will use all the toys, all the programs of this world, getting a good job, looking good, making money, being successful and known, famous, maybe having many followers, being very talented at one particular thing and getting the recognition. Whatever it is, what you are seeking, what most people are seeking, is that sense of home, sweet home, the return to love, the inner fulfillment, that place of ease and grace that is always with you, within your environment, always accessible, for it is the prime principle. It is source. It is who you are at your essence. In order to feel it fully, you have to drop into your heart. That's where practice comes in. As we mentioned yesterday's and the days before, that practice of dropping into the heart, become the witness, observing your strategies, your systems of protection, observing your traumas, your limitations, behaviors that do not serve you, and everything which serves you as well, and love them all. It goes against the grain of who you are, how you've developed, and what society says. What do you mean, love them all? Yes, as we've said before, love your shame, love your grief, love your limitations, love your guilt, your fears, and you will find your way back home through them as well. There is a gift in each And every one of them, we've already mentioned that, and we will again. Some of your spiritual teachers know that, but there are still a lot of people who start on their path of mastery with or from the ego, and that's okay. Very often, this is the place where you start. You want to change your life, and this is the first step, and it is a very, very important, giant step. Changing your life, changing who you are, changing your beliefs, letting go of what doesn't serve you, and you go on and on until comes a moment on your mastery where you have reached a certain point and you realize that the world is still the same world. There might be people around you with the same personas, the same dynamics. So, referring to the Michael Singer analogy of life to a sailor in the sea, you realize that the sea is not always calm and smooth. Sooner or later, the tempestuous weather arises, and storms, hurricanes, strong, fierce weather occurs. And then you are tested. How much have you learned in your skills as a good sailor? How much of your skills have you learned as a good spiritual student? And even though we are using the word good, and it might come across as a judgment, we're not using it with the duality, the polarity in mind. You could substitute good for advanced, experienced. So there comes a day, a moment in time in your now moments, that you realize that you have kept your spiritual devotion to your meditation, to reading a book, attending a talk, a seminar, a workshop, and life suddenly asks you to fully start being on the path, and you get through synchronicity or your own voice or a session with a friend or a workshop. The question which comes then is why? Why would you wear your devotion, your reverence only as a coat you put on in special occasions? Why not 24/7? Sooner or later, you will get there to that moment where the path is a bifurcation, and it's up to you to choose. The path of mastery will take you on the 24/7, making your life a sacred ceremony. Nadej, with her friend Yuria, facilitated a sacred ceremony a few days ago, and she went into a deep, heartfelt experience of connecting at a very sacred level with other human beings who came into their circle, a cacao sacred ceremony, with reverence, with devotion, with humility, with love and compassion. And what unfolded was an evening where she described it as the best of humanity. She saw that at your best, who you are is beyond what you see in the books and your movies, in your medias. It is something that is felt. It is something that is gained from that resilience to deep dive into the whole of who you are and welcome all the aspects of you with no fear, and acknowledge your triggers as allies, not as your enemy. Your triggers, whether they come disguised as an event, circumstance, challenging, a person who is challenging, a world event that really gets to you, or something else. That is the world being a mirror of who you are, conscious and unconscious. And most of the time, this will be the mirror of the unconscious aspects of you, parts of you. But the world is not trying to destroy you. That's what the ego will most probably conclude and judge it as not comfortable, if not terrifying. Therefore, not something that is going to help you. That's the ego. The heart knows that it's not against you. Nothing is against you. Yes, some people might criticize or reject you, but the heart will know that it says more about them than you. They're showing you their state of being. They're showing you they're afraid, or they're ashamed, or they're in guilt, they're in blame. And that's the way they treat themselves, first and foremost. Yes, world events might happen which you really feel has no place to be. As the 21st century, you believe you are meant to be of a higher frequency. But these events, for reasons that are beyond your understanding, are happening as the unresolved emotions of certain people or certain entities behind. Again, very, very complex systems are at work here, including different dimensions. And it's very complex to explain. You have to trust, open up to trust that whatever manifests in your life is coming as a messenger. We've said it many times, and we're inviting you to go deeper into this. Who do you think you would be if you experienced your life as a sacred ceremony? Sacred meaning you bring in this experience of life the tools of mastery and a deep devotion and reverence for the unfolding of existence in yourself and every sentient being. And that includes nature, the animals, potentially other beings, all beings. Sacred, meaning honoring life by starting your day with gratitude for your life. Gratitude for waking up today. And find one or two or three things to be grateful for. The simple things. And pray for you to be the highest version of who you can be. And pray for you to welcome what is coming up as a message, as a sign, welcoming all the parts of who you are. And ceremony, meaning consciously creating an altar, consciously blessing your food, putting your energy into what you create, going within to tune in with your intuition, following the guidance in inspired action. Co-create your life with the invisible world, the ether source, your higher self. Dear one, ponder on this today, tonight, and we'll connect with you tomorrow. We love you beyond words, beyond worlds. Namaste.